Welcome to the First Choice.
Sorry, got the wrong intro. I do apologise. Let's set this right. Where is it? Here we go. Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And tonight or today, depending on where you are, me and my unfortunate guest will be boring the public talking about the episode No Exit from Miami Vice, which has Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs investigating a pre-moonlighting Bruce Willis as an arms dealer who's a very harsh abuse to his own wife will later be his undoing. So before I jump into the episode, let me introduce my panel. It's Admiral Teague and the Kung Fu Hot Dog. How are you doing, dear sirs?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you. It's nice to see everybody. I had a nice week-long break from streaming. I came back last night with my Star Trek show. Fun time with that one, doing a classic episode. And I'm looking forward to digging into this episode of Miami Vice that I've been thinking about now for 8 days. I love this episode.
Yes, and for those who didn't know, my Ethernet cable was not working, so I could not go through with it, unfortunately. But thankfully, I got a new one. I'm getting a new one on the way just in case it plays up. Almost had trouble with the mic because it wasn't being accepted, but thankfully, after refreshing, it allowed me to allow the mic to work. So now it looks like we can go through with this episode because
is it not true that a Star Marines team came into your home and removed the internet cable and replaced it with a defective one because you made an istophobicism when you were speaking about the episode last time?
Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm all for my more diverse inbred friends here. So, Kung Fu Hot Dog, good to see you here as well. I'm glad you managed.
Speaking of inbred, I wear sunglasses at night so I can see the versions in my mind. And look at that, I've got a brand new green Ethernet cable for you, my friend. Shall I send it your way or stick it up my bum?
I don't know. Will we get a signal if we do that?
You probably won't, actually. It'll be a shit signal, that's for sure.
But I'm so glad that we're getting to do this episode again because then we can get through all the other great episodes, talk about them later on. And yeah, this episode is so good. And I think this might be the episode that pretty much, was it like Bruce Willis's TV debut?
Yeah, it is. It is. A year before Glenn Gordon Caron cast him in Moonlighting.
I know, and that's the thing, because he goes from this to a really goofy, likable character in Moonlighting. John McClane.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe he had the range.
By the way, guys, Oh, you know what? I'll save it for the fashion segment. Yeah. I'm just
We'll
so
save for the
excited
fashion
at the point
segment.
Oh,
of
he
existence.
is very fashionable in this episode. They realize that he's this
Authentically
handsome guy
fashionable,
too.
by the
that
way.
Women love him. He's like a good one episode bad guy, you know, like especially when contrasted with Don, he's got a different look. He looks very northeast, East Coast, like he's from some like real nasty northeast town like Philly or Camden, Mass. You know what I mean? He doesn't look
really
like a New
goes full
Yorker.
Italian, doesn't he? He goes full
Oh,
American
yeah.
Italian here, like saying, "Hey, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. You don't wear your dress right."
Tony Amudo. That's the
Yeah.
bad
Hey,
guy.
it's not Poopers. How you doing, man? Yeah, we was gonna do this last week, but fucking, like I said, Ethernet cable played
Hey,
off.
Snorty.
Yeah,
It's good to see you, my friend. Could you do us a favor? Tweet out that we're live and hit the like and follow button. And by the way, anyone coming through later, please, your likes count just as much. Help my friend Northern English Bastard increase his bandwidth to bring you more great crime shows like this. Because, I mean, we got a great caper this week. And let me tell you, how Lieutenant Castillo was able to keep this off CNN is beyond me, but at least the show is self-aware because the feds come helicoptering right in on this over your heads Miami.
Oh yeah, the fucking
Department
feds are
problem.
proper. I'll give credit. The feds are a little bit more humanized here, but they're still dodgy as fuck, though, because you know, even though we get to know the agents a little bit more, they still have that, you know, where you're in a need to know basis, you know, and we can supersede your authority here because
I
we're
think so.
assholes.
This is huge. At the crux of spoiler alert, we had 44 years to watch the episode, guys. We're gonna wreck it up.
Yeah. We're going to be spoiling.
At the center of this episode is Bruce Willis is just an arms dealer extraordinaire, black market style. You know, you show up with a bag of cash, he'll give you an F-16 on his catalog. There's an F-16 or like a Tomcat, a modern strike jet fighter from the U.S. military is one of the things that he can get you. So what they have is what's called Stinger missiles. These are extremely topical in the time that the episode is dropping. These are the things that are going through the American zeitgeist. Our president got shot, and we're at war. We're at a proxy war with the Russians that could go World War III. And what we did is we've turned the tide. We found these guys who have called that we have decided we didn't like their original branding, so we rebranded them the Mujahideen, and we gave them this terrible technology that was in their military situation in context good. These Stinger missiles that are the core of this episode. They are fire and forget, self-guided, plane-destroying missiles. The episode understands them very, very well. And the other thing that should be said is this turned the tide and started from a losing campaign for the Mujahideen in Afghanistan against the Russians to shooting down 70 Hind helicopters a week. And each of those had 20 guys on them. So they started like turning that into the Tet Offensive of like it that became Afghanistan became Russia's Vietnam over this weapon. We're talking about the potential to shoot down any commercial airliner in any part of the world. There is only recent destruction technology to scramble the guidance systems of these. These are still deadly to this day. We kept track of all the ones we sold, or they would have come back on us by now. There's no reports of people trying to use them and missing. But the Mujahideen originally go back to their original branding, the Taliban, and a little bit of the stuff we taught them may have come back to haunt everyone, but we only gave them enough of these to take on the Russians. But these are serious. This is the FBI guys are 100% within their jurisdiction. In fact, what would have happened is these agents would have been fired for being just that aggressive, and like the agent in charge of the entire area would have come and rolled on Crockett and Tubbs, possibly thrown them.
Because legal, are they? They're legal. They even say we're not legal. Because they
would have rolled on this with everything.
His house.
You could kill 600 Americans tomorrow afternoon. They have the capacity to shoot down a fully loaded jetliner taking off out of a place like Miami can hold 200 or 300 people. They're huge. So you're talking about mass murder on a scale that we don't see till 9/11, and also heavy machine guns on the streets of Miami. I mean, there's a war on drugs, but it's not World War I. Oh my God, that opening action scene is great.
Yeah, it
And we're
is.
going to go into that as well. You know what? We'll jump into it because then we can touch on it, can't we? Because it's what you said about the stingers as well, because this looks like it was something new. I mean, the art just enormous. You can actually hold them in your hand now, can't you?
Very new.
And
So I don't-
speaking of touching folks, here's Samantha Fox with their #1 hit, Touch Me Now.
I want to feel your body. I was there. I
Oh
saw
yeah,
you
she
filming
had a
that
nice
video.
pair of whammers. She really did. So-
Yeah, she
I
actually had
remember
better
her.
songs than that, funny enough. That was just like a breakout hit. But
Naughty
the other
Girls
songs she
Need
released
Love Too
afterwards were
is
actually
also-
better.
I was walking through Greenwich Village in Manhattan years and years and years ago, and I saw them filming. I think it was the video for Naughty Girls Need Love Too, where she's wearing like the metal Judas Priest kind of outfit, the
Oh.
leather metal-y. Yeah, and
Awesome.
I was like, wow, it's Samantha Fox. Cool. Like, I was 18. I knew a lot about Samantha Fox. I had handy knowledge, shall we say.
I'm
of
sure you
Samantha.
do.
Yeah, last time I saw her, she was still looking pretty good. I mean, those things haven't lowered way too much, but who knows? It's been a long time since I've last saw her. But
This scene here,
She finally got
Castillo's
on.
got a little bit of sense of humor. It's like, off zwei. I'm thinking, is he speaking German?
yeah, and you've got Trudy trying to whack some pensioners to death because they're waiting for these guys to show up, aren't they? And they're taking fucking long. I mean,
I hope you got a screenshot in this scene that I want to see, man. The pink apartment. I'm just drawn to those. I call them the flamingo apartments. They're fantastic looking. It's somewhere in this scene. It's the workout scene.
yeah, it's got to be somewhere anyway. Let's see if we can spot it anyway. So
Is he counting in German, or is he just calling Swytek Swy?
No, he says off zwei, like off.
Yeah,
the
like
on
Swy,
zwei.
yeah.
I mean,
You're
you
right,
can't
okay.
get more analog than this because Switek is yeah, there we are. Switek's obviously able to just kind of be in public view and on a headset. Nobody knows what he's actually doing. So now you wouldn't be able to do that. Obviously, you'll be pinched in a few seconds.
Not to mention the other thing here is we mentioned it's what 110 degrees right up front while
Yeah,
Crockett's
yeah.
listening to
I've
the
noticed that
radio.
coming up here, by the way. I know what you're
Not a
talking
drop
about.
of sweat on him, but Sweetek almost won my best outfit with this one. He had that great Gia Bear with those loud pants, and people are walking
Yeah, he's
around
got
in these
the golf
crazy.
pants.
People are walking around with crazy loud suits with blazers. It's like, what kind of 110-degree day do you like? Miami people just don't care anymore. It's like you live there long enough, it just goes away. Like see, this
Yeah,
is
and you got
peak
this,
Miami.
you got this guy in the field jacket as well, and you know, he's here for the deal to snag the money. He's like, well, I hit a bit of a snag, and he's like, hey, yeah, no snag. Here's the money. And I love how
his
everyone's in position
accent.
as well. I love how everyone's in position here as well. Trudy's sort of working the pensioners, and they're getting worried that the pensioners are going to die before they reach lunch because it's taking too long. And you know, and Zito and Topes are all sat down. They're all dressed proper down, everything. You know, they are all suave looking. They're sat with these pensioners, keeping their cover, and I also like when they start to see these guys come out the truck. They're getting the pensioners to safety as well. You know, these are good cops. You know, these because they know shit's going to go down, but these guys aren't going to have it. You know, they grab one of the peps, the other peps escape and starts firing an M60 machine gun, and thankfully, Tubbs manages to save this random woman that was almost hit by that was almost in the line of fire. Well, she was in the line of fire, and he managed to protect her.
I mean, wow, that shot there of Edward
Yeah.
James almost. Right,
Yeah, I like this. I like this
bro,
because we get to see Castillo be a bit funny here as well, without diminishing his character. So yeah, it's
Builds
like,
his
"Oh, man," he's
character
like,
a bit.
hell no, I'm not all right, and he's proper pissed off. I mean, no one likes to get shot by M60 machine guns, but he
That
takes it
M60,
real
man.
fucking personal, doesn't he? I mean, he's like, okay, he's lost his brother to machine guns, hasn't he? So
Listen, Sylvester Stallone, First Blood, 1982, when he waves that M60. Oh boy, like the minute it made its mark in cinematic history. I mean, that was it. As soon as you see it in this episode, which is like what, 2 years after First Blood.
Yes,
Damn.
he wields the fucking M60. Everybody has to start wielding an M60 now, don't they? Not because they're trying to be historically accurate to Vietnam or anything like that. No, because firing M60s is fucking cool, and it looks dangerous and it's violent.
Yeah,
It's your standard American heavy machine gun. It's much more common. The 50 caliber was impractical. It's out after World War II. The 30 caliber was much more practical for our purposes after that point. I thought it was a great opening line and an opening action sequence that was fantastic. a little bit crazy how they're walking around in this. Only Tubbs looks like he's conscious of the fact it's 110 degrees. And Gina know how hot it's. Gina and Tubbs know how hot it is. They're pretty good detectives. Everyone else is still like, guy on the radio says it's 110 degrees. Maybe I should take off my jacket. They're just sweating through this one.
Yeah, he's fucking sweating. He's sweating like mad, isn't he, in this scene? Yeah. I mean, but then again, you could argue the being fired at by the machine guns has made it worse as well, because he's like, I hate machine guns. When I fire machine guns, I get scared. And when I get scared, I get so when I get nervous, I get angry.
Affects my performance. I loved it. And also, yeah, he had just done a lot of running, and like it wasn't an extra. Philip Michael Thomas did some running around and jumping. So maybe they came in right after that, and he's just like, leave it. I would be sweaty. Or they're like, sir, we've already been through 40 rolls of paper towels, and we've only been filming for 45 minutes. We really, at some point, we're going to have to accept that it's pretty damn hot here in Florida, sirs.
We'll get some more at the get some more out of the portable toilets then. But the staff need it, sir. Fuck them. I'm sweating like hell here.
You know what I love, though, is Castillo, after all this, there is a lot of danger. There's a lot of danger. We are firing a heavy machine gun on an American street, and we have American law enforcement outgunned and literally on the run. This is the kind of story that like feeds negative newspaper stories for like months and months and months. This is a terrible incident in the streets of America. It's like, this is like crime takeover. Like, if you think a bunch of people running around screaming crazy shit while that Mamdani won't like refuses to disperse is bad, and it is, but if you think that's bad, like people like a heavy machine gun duel on the streets of Miami while the outgunned cops cower, they had to run for their lives. This was a total loss. And Castillo runs in there. He's concerned about his man, and the last thing that happens, he knows that Tubbs is okay. He knows that danger has more or less abated, and he takes the bravest stand. He doesn't lean down to reduce himself as a target, remains fully, stands fully erect. He says we should say non-flaccid. And he's absolutely just, cool. And he cracks a moderately funny, not a gut buster, like a wry, dry line. You okay there, detective? And just like a great upward shot with great camera work. Good job, David Soul. And then we get our moment where he takes that long walk while he's like hyper babbling to Gina. And when he goes, with that great line, machine guns affect my performance, we cut to black, which we don't do a lot.
Fucking takes it out on this guy, doesn't he? It's like
he takes the liberty of pistol whipping the witness.
Yeah. You're right. You are with those guys that fired that machine gun at me. They got away. You're here. I'm fucking taking all my anger out on you. You deserve a good punch up. But yeah, now that you mentioned, David Soul directed this episode. I mean, was it last week we had Starsky directing it?
Paul Michael Glazer. Yeah, you're correct.
Paul Michael Glazer,
yeah. Both of them are, involved in this, and I can see why you would want them, because they're like, we're cloning your show, but we don't want your exact show. We totally want your intercop dynamic, and we want the realness and believability. We want cops with, say, dating lives. We want cops who love their car. And those two things get transferred directly. And I don't know if it was like a meeting with Soul and Glazer, or, like one of those phone calls that they get every once in a while with Michael Mann. But someone was like, look, these are the things you need to drop. You need to drop your Huggy Bear. And you need to get a captain who, like, it was very fortunate that actor left, because we would have had to like start arcing him in a different direction. He would have needed to get shot anyway to come back a nicer guy. Instead, we'll just kill him. Captain Rodriguez, as Northern calls him. No, anyone telling Northern English bastard how to pronounce the name John Leguizamo the actual way is going to have to fucking answer to me. It's hilarious. And hello, Wormy Spoons. Guys, can you do us a favor?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Hey, get back on the comment.
Do us this small favor. This is how we start the rock rolling downhill for the show. If you could go to the YouTube browser and tweet out that we're live. We're not asking for anything else at that. Tweet out that we're live so people will come here. At least it'll show that our show brings people to YouTube, that we're driving people to YouTube so that they can make money off of other people. Just give us your love. That's all we ask. Just that's all we ask.
Yeah, because it does help the channel as well, and I want to try and see if we can get to 2K before the end of the year because you know, I'm very ambitious. I want to get more subs. You know, that's the whole thing with YouTube. You know, have fun, but let's hope you can get a lot of subs out of doing it. But
I want 100 subs to go away. I think I got punked yesterday. I just want them to go away.
Oh, damn.
Well, I've just managed to reach an extra 100 here after getting my 1K, so that's not too bad. It's going to go down a little bit because there's probably some that are bots, but that's okay. You know, as long as it gets rid of the ones that leads to more genuine ones, and I'm okay about that. So they've got one of the guys now. They've told him that he's going to get 10 years now because of what's happened, and he's like,
which is life.
well, the guys,
should be life. It's like triple felonies. I mean, this is like attempted murder of like 5 different police officers, discharge of a weapon of mass destruction on the fucking American street, illegal possession of a weapon of mass destruction. 10 years is fucking life. That is drunk driving with criminal intent is 10 years. This guy he is so undercharged. We're talking 40.
Yeah, because that does sound very fucking extreme, especially when it's not just a single police officer that's being fired on. You've attempted to murder like 4 or 5 police officers, like you said.
You're only just so off the hook that they were in civilian clothes. Some of them badged out while this was going on. It kept going on. You fired at some known cops. You fired indiscriminately on the street with ordnance that couldn't just wound people. This catches you in the arm. That arm's flying off, and you still might bleed to death. This is like these bullets, if they hit you, are almost definitely going to kill you. Like a regular civilian hospital is ready for this.
Meat, aren't they? I mean, it's not like in the movies where they just get a few bullets in them and then they fall down. No, these are going to shred you to fucking bits because it's like thousands and thousands of rounds going off per minute.
And this bullet is 4 times bigger than a Bushmaster bullet. If you want to talk about something, a Bushmaster is a 22 caliber bullet. We're talking about, and that's a pistol round. As an American, I guess I have a different perspective. I would just ask, who else on the panel has been in a place where gunfire started?
No.
All right, so it's happened to me a couple of times. One time it was pretty distant, but it freaked me out to hear it. And another time I was walking by a building and it was like near Halloween. So a gang initiation ritual time is Halloween. And as I was walking by, it wasn't at me, but the idea was like people that one group of people didn't like lived in a building, and the people that didn't like them, their initiation to get jumped fully into your youth organization that's going to help you, your fraternity, so to speak. That was to drive by there and to blow a few rounds out the window at this other structure, right? And I'm on that street when that happened. So I heard what amounted to, eventually, because of the way the traffic pattern was, a return of fire too. So I was on, afraid. It wasn't at me or towards me, but you can't assess that right away. So we're talking, this is terrifying.
You hear a gunshot, you think, oh shit, it's like your survival instinct, isn't it?
No, you hear a gunshot and you're like, firecrackers. Then you see that it's actually really a gun because you see the person brandishing it, or you
because when you watch all those behind the scenes where they're firing guns, it does sound that way. I mean,
doesn't sound like a gun at all. And the echoing in New York City, I was just like, huh? What the heck? Where's that coming from? And then like the car screeches to a halt, and then the person's hanging out the window. And of course it was New York, so it was straight gangsta sideways. But like they're popping off rounds, and like it's not at me, but I'm in between. And then all of a sudden behind me, I hear more pops, and that's when it dawns on me what's happening. And I dropped to the street, and I didn't fucking. I was like on my hands. I was like, "Holy fuck!" I yelled it at the top of my lungs. This is not common. I lived in New York City 30 years. That happened once. Okay. And it was at a crime spike and in the worst neighborhood. But yeah, so I've been there. I was at a very minor version of this, and I've seen people pull out guns and I've just run away. But this is incredible. No, I've never seen anything close to this. This is the LA shootout of 1997.
Fucking hell, that sounds airy. That, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Think about it. The van with the machine gun is about as formidable as the technical vehicle from Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, because you see more rounds fucking spraying all over the place, and yeah, you got more chance of getting hit, aren't you? So yeah, they've got the guy. He was willing to give up his friends, but he's like, no, we don't want the errand boys. We want the real guys. So they tell him it's a guy called Tony Amato, who's an arms dealer. And apparently he might have some government pull, as Castillo says, but they need some kind of authorization to bug his house. But there's some kind of difficulties there anyway. But they're gonna do it anyway, aren't they? They're gonna fucking bug his house.
I mean, we need to say this though. Enter Bruce Willis. This is the character he plays. Tony Amato is Bruce Willis. He seems to me, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, he doesn't seem to be a Miami guy. He showed up here from some other scummy city like Camden, New Jersey.
I think he did originally come from somewhere else, the character, because he sounds very sort of maybe Philly or New York Italian, doesn't he? Even though
he sounds Philly to me.
Yeah.
Or Chicago,
doesn't he? Yeah, you're so stupid, aren't you?
He's not big time enough to be New York. You know what I mean? It's like he failed out of some second city, and now he's trying to climb it up in Miami. He's an underachiever.
And this house has probably been used in nearly every single fucking episode. I keep seeing this house pop up in different episodes.
Yes.
So
David Soul did a really good frame up on this shot. Really good.
Yeah, it's very good introduction as well, because you see him walking out. You see him with the right-hand man putting his wife in the separate car. And
that shirt. Another great shirt.
Banging shirt, man. Banging shirt.
Great shirt. I had a very close facsimile. My thing was like, why would you button these up? You get like a loud T-shirt, and like I had my like Max Headroom T-shirt underneath, or my Nirvana. No, this is too early for that. My Judas Priest T-shirt underneath this.
Yeah, this is a 28-year-old Bruce Willis as well. If I looked like a 28-year-old Bruce Willis, I wouldn't button my fucking shirts up like that.
That is true. Bruce is
I
like
wouldn't button
72.
them. I'd button the fuck out of them. I would. But yeah, he's looking fucking cool. Everything you can still see his hair is. Yeah, you can see his hair still thinning a tiny bit though, despite being not 30 yet. But now they're on a time limit.
Look isn't in yet because or he would have been wearing that. He would have had the muscle shirt, undershirt. Like, they didn't even bother incorporating that into his look.
Yeah, he should have had He should have had a vest underneath with a gold chain.
Yeah, I mean that's really pushing it. But you know what I mean?
You know what it is? He's very Burt Reynolds in this. They're portraying him as, so he's got sort of like the masculinity of a somewhat hairy chest, and like you said, like his hair is thinning a little bit, but it's not
just missing the shower scene where everybody is just like all over him.
Yeah,
a movie scene.
And this was Don Johnson that actually brought him on. Apparently, he met him in the bar. I think New Jersey, New York, and he's like, I like your personality, and he got him onto this episode. So it's Don. So nice one, Don Johnson. You've introduced us to Bruce Willis, one of the most charismatic action stars, and one of the most rounded action stars. We should say.
So cool because I'm still already. I was going to say I still want to buy the Nash Bridges Blu-ray box set, because Philip Michael Thomas shows up in 2 episodes.
I actually saw it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Meatloaf is the villain.
He's worked with.
Yeah, and Meatloaf is the villain. That's like fucking awesome.
He's not a bad actor. He can pull off a villain.
Yeah, I like Meatloaf as well.
Meatloaf was in an episode of The Equalizer, the first season. He was great in that as well. He was an arms dealer.
He was modestly talented and had a decent amount of range as an actor, from the guy from Rocky Horror to credible villains and the messed up weak beta male from Fight Club. He did it all. He showed a decent amount of range, but he did come out of acting before he was a musician. He was like a Broadway singer.
That does make sense, because his songs are very theatrical and operatic, aren't they?
Well, when you work with someone like Jim Steinman, you're going to get that, aren't you? So.
Right. His songwriter is the total eclipse of the heart. We need a hero songwriter.
Yeah. I do like the fact that they have to have a time limit before they've got to look for an off switch on the alarm, everything, and they've got to put in place the bugs. They've got I really love it. I really love that they have to be real quick.
We have Lester showing up with a great outfit. He's got a pink Giabera, and what I love is, I don't know if it was just really hot, or he wasn't on set with them, or the direction was different, or David Soul told him play it like you do this every day. But when Crockett and Tubbs are like in their office and they're being all gregarious and shooting the shit with each other, and Lieutenant Castillo, who's really not responding much. He's giving them the patented Castillo looks as Crockett and Tubbs like expound on credible theories like the crazy people they are, and they're like, "Hey, Lester, we got a job for you." And he looks over at him just like, it's Crockett and Tubbs.
Yeah, Lester.
Lester's kind of a little bit of disdain.
Yeah, Lester is kind of the put-upon guy, isn't he? He doesn't get appreciated much, this guy. And it kind of cracks me up as well because, and they've got a fucking catalogue with all these, like, heavily armed black market stuff here. It's like, it's amazing as well. But it's a very good...
No, that's based on the real thing from what I remember.
Yeah, but it's very good visual representation of Amato as well. It shows he's a guy that does his research on his products. He's not just...
he's got an F-15 on the front of his catalog.
I know.
He's
as in the eagle.
Sell that. That's his.
Yep.
That's his catalog. That's his menu. That's where you order from Bruce Willis. This guy could support a mid-sized country. He's got like an aircraft carrier worth of shit.
Well, yeah, because we do find out he's got some kind of like government connections, hasn't he? He's part of many different factors, as we see later at the end.
My ex-wife is giving me some problems. I need a couple of flamethrowers. No problem.
Yeah, if you got the money, I'll give you a flamethrowers, okay? You don't give me the money, you can fuck right off. Stop wasting my time.
If you do give me the money, I still might freak out and like slam your head against the wall and scream for a while because I'm a psycho from Philly.
Yeah. I like the fact Tubbs is not very fond of the whole spy thing, but Crockett's been like, kind of being the mentor. Listen, if you want to get this guy, we're going to have to play this game as well because this guy is fucking smart. He is very slick.
Well,
but then they realize...
yeah,
and they found a good place to and they've got a good place to look over as well, the harbour, so they can keep an eye on him as well and make sure you do the whole spy shit. And yeah, poor Lester again. He's like trying to tell these two fucking coppers how to work this machinery as well that they need to work in order to get the evidence. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I get it. It's with the mumbo jumbo, with the other mumbo jumbo. Why don't you speak English?" And it's basically
look at Lester's face.
Yeah,
take it back just one quick slide for a second.
Yeah, it's one like one can record and the other can get the dial tone so they can find out.
I used to have those tape recorders, not the exact ones, but very similar.
All the tech talk made sense. There was no magic here. He had what amounted to Bluetooth bugs. They're fairly sophisticated for the time. They probably didn't exist in the functional form. They were the size of watch batteries, but okay. It's not science fiction. I love, his look. They dressed him believable. He looks like he belongs with the Crime Containment Bureau. He seems like a more serious cop. He's definitely got more going on.
Casio with a calculator keyboard on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you spotted
he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing as well. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's very good at clearing out. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's very good at clearing audio. Everything is. I don't think we've seen enough of Lester in episodes though.
Lester is not impressed by Crockett and Tubbs either, which is what I like about him. He's like, I got my own field. I'm very competent and I'm smarter than Crockett and Tubbs. I could shoot people too. I don't.
Look at these guys driving around in a Ferrari and these slick suits getting on all the girls, and I'm here trying to do my job,
Lester's kind of like the sort of upgraded version of Gene Hackman's character from The Conversation.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of like Q as well because he's kind of got the hero.
That's
not
James Bond, my man.
As well because he's got all this great stuff. He was very professional. Then you got the young hero is kind of a little bit cavalier towards him, but there's still this kind of respect at the same time. And we get a nice little shot of a very hot lady in a unitard.
We want to see her, please. I especially want to see her.
Here we go.
Fantastic.
Let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go.
This is the absolutely. Part of the episode. I take mild exception to this, not the showing off of the beautiful lady. They went real far to do it. Is the idea of surveilling him from where they're surveilling him from is sound, except for one thing. When we see the boat, it's bobbing up and down like it's going out of control. This is very turbulent water. And when we see them, they're looking through binoculars. They're not selling that like this is a difficult, like they had a chance to make it more tactile. When we switch inside the boat and it's just like any other apartment, I do view that as a missed opportunity and a missed opportunity for maybe some lightheartedness. Like imagine if we did something instead of tacking away from Starsky and Hutch, had something like the human moment of Starsky and Hutch where like everybody gets knocked over into the corner of the boat in a comedic moment. And you got the three cops like, all right, well, let's figure out how to put this thing on a gyroscope or whatever it takes to make this make sense. Because they've got a static set of binoculars. You'd be beating your face up in this boat that's jumping around.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few things where you kind of got to sort of like switch your brain off a tiny bit. Otherwise, it'll probably will affect the story. But I like the fact that he's like, "Hey, come here." Then he has a little bump on the on the periscope, the telescope, and he sees this fucking Fed guy as well, and he's like, "Hey, some turkeys spying on us." And then these Fed guys just come up. They almost get chewed up by fucking Elvis because Elvis is always loyal to Sonny. He's one of the best alligators you can ever have as a pet. Probably the only alligator I think you can
The
have.
only alligator with a 180 IQ.
And it turns out these Feds are here for the. It turns out because that M60 along with some Stinger missiles have been stolen. And he actually describes them as well. These are very new. These are more handheld, and Amato's guys have got them. And I love how Tubbs brings it back to him as well, saying, "Yeah, well, I don't fancy being target practice for one of them." But now they know that they're not there legally, and it's like, well, if you don't fuck off, we can always just remove all your bugs and take over this operation soon. But they do find a way to work together. And only trouble is one of them has to stay in the boat with the alligator, which is not cool. But this is where we get to see. Yeah, this scene is and this isn't even the harshest scene in it as well.
No,
this is
it's
like
not.
we start to see how much of a scumbag Amato is as well. I mean, he's berating his wife over a fucking dress, like she hasn't buttoned it right.
I mean, he's one to talk. Have you seen what he's wearing? He looks like a penguin suited waiter.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of got. It looks like he's got
Almado.
Yeah, he's kind of got the jacket that's supposed to have the tail at the end, but the tail seems to be cut off. I mean,
It's a matador outfit.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to remember what it actually was.
Matador outfit. He's wearing what's called a Cavarici suit. It's from the mid 80s. Okay. They're high-waisted pants for men. They're stirrup pants for men from the waist to like the crotch, and then they turn into genie pants a la MC Hammer from the thighs down. These are the most have it both ways, absolutely bipolar confused 80s pants you can have, guys. But it's a great, if you look at it, he's dressed, wearing sort of like a pirate shirt with what I would call either a mariachi or a matador outfit.
I know it does look very mariachi-like as well. It doesn't look like a normal tuxedo, does it? It's because the suit jacket's kind of like going up above the waist now. It's not going below the ass like most suit jackets do.
It would be called something like Spanish-themed active dress wear.
Yeah, so it's at the party that we're going to as well, because it's never really mentioned. They mentioned that they got to meet this Jamaican guy called Tupar at the airport, but they don't know what he looks like, which kind of gives the team a bit of an edge now, because then they can try and find a way to infiltrate his operation. But he fucks off about her anyway, and you can see, and they all seem to hate this guy. It's I don't blame him, but Sonny, he really hates this guy even more than Tubbs and the Feds do. It's like,
which says a lot about his character.
What was it that they thought was so bad about him? I mean, he dressed up really nice. His wife couldn't be bothered to match his look. She, let him down, and he was just expressing disappointment. I feel like they missed the mark, making him seem like I'm kidding.
Yeah, they probably should have had him slap her a little bit more, just to make it look just to make their hatred towards him a little more justified. But yeah, later on it does become more justified as well. And
I don't think he ever hits her. He just throws her into the pool. She's like, "I'm sorry that I didn't wear something that looks good." And he's like, you look terrible." And she's like, "I'm sorry that I didn't wear like this." And he's like, "Wear this." And he shoves her into the pool. And that's like, okay, he threw his. And remember, she knows what he's all about. Like, there are places in this country you can flee people like this. She is not a prisoner. She could go turn state's evidence against this guy. She's staying with a guy who wants to give anybody who has money the ability to kill 200 people for fun. So he's the most terrible human being in the world.
She does mention why. No, she does actually mention why. She tries to escape him. She tries to divorce him. We'll get to that scene in a minute. But
okay, sorry, but he's pretty evil, but not just because he pushes his wife in the pool. He's trying to enable a lot of death and destruction.
Oh yeah, I mean, but the thing is, the fact that he berates her as well, and is like, get dressed, get some, and come with me, but then fucks her off later. But Sonny's kind of like, I didn't become a cop to be a spectator, and Tubbs is like, let's kneel this pig.
Yeah, it offends their sense of justice, which is important for the characters. I'll give it that.
Mm.
It was
But then
really
I know, but you can see Sonny has actually learned how to work this machinery as well now, hasn't he? He's actually paid a bit more attention to Lester. He's taking his stuff on board, but then he hears Rita is calling someone about setting up a meet. He immediately comes to the conclusion she's hiring a hitman. He immediately knows it's a hitman that she's hiring. And but he's like, I don't think we're going to take that chance anyway. I think he's safe. You got all the surveillance round. She's not going to kill him. I mean, our main priority is the stingers, you know. And but Tubbs is like, I think Tubbs kind of gives the idea as well.
My God, who's this Rico?
Yeah, this guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need to approach Tupac at the airport, don't they? And they're going to send this guy to be an undercover cop. And he's like, how young are you? He's like, hey, I've done undercover work before, yeah. Well, yeah, I bet you did high school drama as well.
I love your Crockett. And the thing is, he does lean into that, especially when he's in character. One thing I will say, the interagency rivalry, okay, that's good. And what we did is, have you noticed, and even though there's an interagency rivalry, once we get the stakes out there, Crockett and Tubbs like mostly calm down with their usual highly disrespectful banter towards the feds. Everyone's on the same team here. It's that bad. This federal agent scene right here, it's okay. They blow off this cop. This is a strong authenticity shield for this episode and story. These feds are like, okay, these Miami cops have no right to be dealing with this. This is like National Guard level threat. But okay, so what we have is the feds. Okay, makes sense. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, FBI, everything. They're they're micromanaging the operation, and the cops are a little flip about it. Crockett and Tubbs wouldn't be this flip, but these feds wanting in on the operation really protects the integrity of this story. Otherwise, it's LOL. It passes a lot of LOL tests because the feds are so involved.
Yeah, and the thing is that they actually do come across like competent feds, even though they're kind of assholes as well. But I'm kind of glad that fucking Tubbs gets the role as the undercover, because he does look way too young. He doesn't look like he's experienced enough to pull it off, and the fact that he looks like a really, really young Jermaine Jackson as well doesn't really help. It's this guy. He really looks like him.
SERIOUS.
Is this the airport from Valverde in Commando? And here's the thing: Crockett and Tubbs should know their city and their street and their game better than the feds. So that part makes sense too.
Yeah, so yeah,
the feds would buy it
as well. Yeah,
that is a great shot.
Yeah, this is great. I love this guy as well. Just coming and he gets surrounded by fucking Switek and Rico, just lead him into the bathroom, and then out comes fucking Tubbs in a very similar gear. I'm like, okay, did the spot what this guy was going to be dressed up as? Have Tubbs go to a shop, buy the same clothes, then take him into the bathroom, and then Tubbs walks out, or did they arrest him and Tubbs stole his clothes? I
think we found out that my theory was true, and they have experience following people and stealing their clothes.
Yeah, he got he got dressed in a matter of fucking seconds here as well. So they've arrested a guy that's ass naked now.
They made the allusion to what they're doing. This episode of Miami Vice is based on American TV show, not movie, Mission Impossible, because he says to the Fed, "Okay, Mr. Phelps, what's your plan?"
Yeah, nice one. It's still funny though. It is still very funny, and Tubbs looks fucking good in that game. Looks awesome.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that we obviously know that's the exterior of the airport. They've obviously shot inside of it as well. If it isn't an inside shot of the airport, I'll be surprised. It looks really good.
I know. I mean, I can buy that's actually shot on location. Most of this, I've seen a couple of episodes where you can tell they're in the studio for the remainder of it. You know, obviously the James Remar episode, which we'll get into another time. But
this isn't a Miami area airport. It's just not Miami International. Is
it just somewhere in Florida then? Is that it?
Well, it's so long ago that this could be Miami International at that time, because you're talking a lot less volume. But this is an airport in Florida that's a commuter airport, but it's probably not their international airport, is my guess. because they have the ability to film here, and otherwise it would be dangerous. You got NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board. Sorry to my British friends. National Transportation Safety Board, as we call it here in America, concerns. I don't know that you could have a film crew at an airport. Maybe then, never again now. Now you have to build your airport set or reuse something else.
Yeah, is it because of the old 9/11 thing? Airports are just so uptight now with security. Fucking hell, it really is.
You can never film a movie at the airport again. Never.
That's such a shame.
Yeah, that's fucking shit. So yeah, he meets up with Amato's right-hand guy. They go for the deal, and Switek and Zito tail him, and he's listening in on Rita's phone call on where to meet the hitman. And Elvis is just enjoying a nice little snack as well. Look at him. Look at it. Awesome guy. Awesome. So I just love he sees the hitman and he's like, fucking beat it, asshole. And the guy's like, okay then. All right. And he's just posing as this hitman as well. He's trying to sort of see if she will go through with it as well. And like,
what I've noticed about Amado's wife is that she's so dressed down. Like you can tell that he's really controlling her. Like you can't dress sexy.
Oh yeah,
he really has downgraded her appearance, and you can see why she's so effing pissed.
Well, that's why Amato works for Disney now and Sweet Baby Inc. on the side as a consultant. But they make her look terrible. And the one thing I would say is she plays frightened really well. She's got some pearls to actually clutch. And what I love, again, here we have chain smoking tough guy.
I love it. That's a great freeze frame, by the way. English, really good. Gold lighter as well.
Great jacket. Great shirt.
Yeah, and it's looking good.
Miami Heat, man.
Yeah.
Only in the 80s could you dress like this.
Yeah, Catherine Borowitz is her name as well, and yeah, she's really good in this.
She goes on to do a bunch of other crime shows. She becomes a regular on some other crime show for a little while, for a couple of years.
Yeah, nice one. I mean,
she goes forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if this might have been one of her first acting gigs or maybe one of her more well-known acting gigs, but yeah, she really sells this role. You do feel sorry for this woman.
Yeah.
And Sonny,
she got in with the casting company that cast the crime shows because she did a great performance, like you said.
Oh yeah, she really does. And yeah, you look at Sonny Crockett as well. He's really playing the hitman real well. He's still sort of like not giving anything away. He's like, why can't you just leave him? And then she tells him the story about she tried to divorce him, and the lawyer. She got a really good lawyer and everything, but then Amato got some goons to I think maybe S.A. the lawyer's wife and said if the lawyer didn't back off, they'd go for his daughter next. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So we're seeing just how much of a monster this Amato guy is.
Yeah, she's a hostage. I would just say he is so evil, though. All right, so he foiled your plan with your lawyer. Get in your car, drive as far away as you can. Don't stop till you run out of gas. Go into the police station. Say, I know a major East Coast arms dealer with 20 Stinger missiles, a couple of heavy fucking machine guns, a few technical vehicles, and a few days ago he took over downtown Miami. They'll be like, we have the army in on this. Military intelligence is flying in. You're being put up at a military barracks. She would be safe. She could have run from this guy. So that's, like you said, the concession to reality.
But again, he seems to have a lot of pull as well. He seems to know how to pull a few strings. I mean, look at the lawyer. Maybe she went to some coppers.
He does have that government backup. The feds are trying to follow. They're following him up the chain of distribution. They don't want to take him out yet because they want to know where he's getting the stuff. So he's being allowed a little bit of operational freedom, and he thinks he's got a blank check. He doesn't realize that they're playing him too. So at least the feds are essentially good and not enabling the evil. It's already going on.
Yeah, so because they need to get a lot of evidence to put him away as well, but they need to find out where these bloody arms have gone.
More important that they don't get another Tony Amato in another city and just start all over again. It's like, well, the last thing we need is to chase him out of Miami and have this pop up in Amarillo. We want the dealers.
Exactly.
This is Vice. This is organized crime containment.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think Sonny didn't need to play the part of the hitman. He could have said, listen, we know you're about to kill your husband and don't go through with it. Let us get this guy, all right? I know it means a couple of days of taking some abuse stuff, but we will get him and you will be free of him. But, okay, it's like we got to see Sonny be a bit, play his evil side a little bit, his evil cover, whatever. And he does tell her that he's a cop. And yeah,
I
that
was
is
going to say,
thing
I
as well.
think he does what in American football is called, he calls an audible. His coach, Lieutenant Castillo, told him to go in there and entrap this woman so they could stop this guy with WMDs. And on his own, he's like, I'm going to break cover and trust this woman. She won't screw me. It's like a typical Crockett move. It's fine. It fits with the character. But yeah, he's not doing what the captain sent him there to do.
Yeah, no. Plus, I think it would have been shit if he was trying to entrap her, because he sees that she's a woman that's very badly done to, and is like, the last thing she needs is assholes like us arresting her, and when she has every right to be, vengeful. Really,
Captain backs Sonny's play, so it was the right thing to do. But he calls an audible, as we say in American football. He overrules the coach. He sees an open receiver downfield, and he makes his throw. It's a very football-like move for Sonny. You have to understand that's built into his.
Yeah, I kind of that does add a bit more context into why Castillo is staring at him as well. I mean, it's okay. He doesn't seem too angry at him though. He doesn't seem too angry at him.
Almost has thought this one through. He's like, honestly, to go here to Vice, it is like you said, the disposition of the show is that the Vice cops are a little bit, at the edge of the law enforcement. So the thing is, Castillo is like, I need to take a mentoring approach so Sonny only kills 10 or 12 people a year. I need to calm him down so that we don't have to lie to put people away. He's a good guardian. He cares about the community. He belongs to the city. He belongs to the night. He's going to go out there and do the right thing for the people of Miami. So I think that the idea here is that Edward James Olmos, without really talking too much, has developed in his mind that he's going to play this as a mentoring, somewhat protector of Sonny. He knows that he can control him a little bit.
He does try to protect his team. When Trudy kills someone for the first time, he says, listen, take a week off, spend some time, get yourself together, then come back. It's like, because he knows because he's seen what pressure can, what the pressure can, how a cop can be when they're under so much pressure, and how much it can jeopardize their ability to conduct their job. So
the first person she kills, Qui-Gon Jinn, is like, you just killed the Jedi, Trudy. You're gonna need a few days to come to terms with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he probably did. Yeah. So they've already told her that
not going to make my job any easier, Trudy. But
they've already told her that they got the bugs and they need her to, play things as normal, so no one suspects or anything, because they need to get him on these deals, don't they? They need to get him on these things. So this is where Tupar meets up with Amato and his guys, and they're showing him all about all these missiles, and you can turn the explosive device off them as well, so you can hit that way when you hit the plane wing and send it down, it looks like an accident, which is
that's
so crazy.
Admiral, true. Is that an actual real? Is that made?
That looks just like it. Look, wow. They did their research. It looks just like it. It's got the blowback. Those wings on it are to protect you from the backblast from the missile. Here's the one thing I will say: the part where they say it'll hit like a bullet, I'm not sure about that. I think what it is.
Yeah, it sounds a bit. It does. It sounds like it's downplaying it a bit, doesn't it? It hits like a bullet.
No, these are different. These are super stingers. It has two settings. When he says you can turn off the warhead, and what's great is the guy with the stingers here, he can't stop laughing. He's giggling his way like he's.
Oh yeah, he loves this, doesn't he? He's a complete.
You can kill hundreds of people. You can delete women and kids with this, and he's like, when he shows him how to do it, he's like, you push this button, and it disarms the warhead, and it'll hit like a bullet, and it'll shear the wing off, and the plane will come down, no explosion. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I don't know that there's enough rocket power to. I mean, an airplane is not the strongest thing, but I don't know if this line of sight but self-guided and very effective missile is also able to shear the wing off. These are designed, as far as I know, to go into the engine and explode.
Jesus.
And it's crazy as well. I mean,
that's why they're self-guided. The heat seeking takes over.
Yeah, it's so crazy as well, and I think this guy is called Gentle, the character, which is very ironic. Very ironic.
I love this guy.
He is.
He's the evil version of Q from James Bond.
Yeah, all these actors are playing it real well. I mean, even Amato is basically a one-dimensional wife-beating thug, but he's still very well acted by Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis is just fucking giving it
I
110.
think
Yeah, he
we
really
have
is.
to call him a domestic over motivator, or we'll get in trouble.
I know, and I like how Tubbs is just really getting into his Jamaican arms dealer fucking gig.
Yeah,
saying,
man.
So yeah, man, I pushed the bullet. It goes right up into the air. It hits plane, but does not explode.
He does it really well.
I know.
That's
I love
the part
Tubbs. I
that
love
makes
Tubbs when he goes undercover because he really gets into the character a lot more as well. He's if I need someone to infiltrate somewhere, I would hire Tubbs.
Here's the thing: they've done this. They've made the Stinger attack fingerprint free. So now you can shoot down aircraft all across the United States with a bullet-like trajectory, and like you're saying, you'll shear the wing off. No one will ever know. The truth is, the FAA would figure that out, but it is making these Stingers more deadly. These are worse than the real thing.
Yeah. So fucking hell, we're nearly nearly 3/4 of a way here as well. So they're doing the discussion, and I like this little bit where Gentle starts getting a bit too talky with when there was stealing the M60, and Mato's like, listen, can we calm down on the details, please? So we're seeing that he is very smart as well. You know, he doesn't like people just discussing things out in the open because it's because he likes to, because that's how he's pretty much kept his business running for so long. And I'm pretty sure this nightclub here is being reused a lot of times in other episodes as well. I'm pretty sure Nuggy used this setting when he got married in a later episode. And that's the one where Zito and Switek become the main characters. But obviously, he agrees to do a deal. Apparently, the deal is for like 75 grand, 7,500 for each missile, and he haggles it down to maybe 650. But he wants to see the inventory, so Tony tells him, "Okay, we'll show him the inventory tomorrow afternoon."
And they charge him for the test missile too. They don't deduct the missile they fired. He's like, "That's 10."
So yeah, he's back home as well, and this scene is so fucking harsh. He's got the jewelry as well. He's playing all sweet with her. She's trying to be nice, and
to a Teddy Pendergrass song. Are you kidding?
I know. I was like, look at that shirt as well. I'm like, is that shoulder boards on his shirt, or is like they're just flat?
No, it's got a second external like shell. It's got more material across the back. You know how in a few episodes we've seen in the action scenes people have sweat through their suit? This shirt is made for really hot weather, and the assumption here is you will sweat through your undershirt and the shirt, but the shirt has a little cape over it. It's like a sweat like disguiser. That's what that is. It's a fucking sweat disguiser.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as the first shirt we saw him wear when we first saw him. That was
Bolero outfit rules.
I know. But yeah, the shirt looks really, really oversized as well. But that's the 80s. I mean, every clothes had to be oversized.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Speaking from personal experience.
Yeah. But I did not know this Bruce Willis's character at Ada until maybe on the second or third watch, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, but they're just being very subtle about it. Obviously, they can't show it on TV, but it shows just the amount of lengths he'll go to bloody to dominate her. And Sonny has to fucking listen and not do anything, otherwise he'll blow the case. And the look on his face, man, Don Johnson just sells it. He proper sells this scene. I mean, look at the way he holds that bar as well. He wants to go in there and smash this guy's face in and save her, but he can't. He knows it'll jeopardize the case if he does. That's like what a price he has to pay for making sure this scumbag goes down for a long time. But now it's looking like they're going to pull him in anyway. And it's like, no, you can't pull him in. We ain't got enough evidence. Yeah, but we've already got the missiles, and that was our intention. And I think Castillo mentioned Castillo mentioned other guys were in on this thing, and they're waiting in the wings with the government. And so he knows something's up with these feds as well, because he even pretty much calls this Fed guy out for bullshit. And it's like, is there anything you're not telling us? It's like, no. Why? What makes you say that? And he's like, your eyes. Castillo, man. Castillo. Oh, you muted me.
Military intelligence himself. He has military intel experience. He knows these guys. He was what they call a spook. He investigated the Golden Triangle, and he was military intel during Vietnam War. They're not super specific about it, but that seems to be maybe one reason he has a mentoring outlook towards Sonny. They're both former military.
Yeah, because I mean, they're both veterans as well. He knows what trauma can do to people, and he sees that Sonny is a little bit unhinged as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in fucking Vice. I mean, he knows about his alcoholism. He got shot as well, and so it's probably fucked him up a little bit more. And but once again, we're seeing how
he wants to focus him, not. But here's the thing, unlike Captain Rodriguez, who would like to see crime busted down to tow truck driver for the Miami-Dade Police Department. He hates him so much. Lieutenant, and there's a reason, he's more a lieutenant than a captain. I think that was an intentional step down in rank to make it seem more hands-on and less, 30,000-foot view of Crockett. Like, he's able to relate to him. And I think what he's doing is his thing is, I'm not going to change Sonny. However, he has all the traits that he needs to be the right kind of cop, but I'm going to focus him. I'm going to help him be less tangential, less crazy. And I'm going to a little less violent and maybe like a little less of a body count so I can get out of here once in a while and get something to eat.
Yeah, I think we've got another comment as well. Yeah, PB, how you doing again, man? I hope you're doing well. Yes, we was going to do this last week, but my Ethernet cable was fucked, so I had to get a new one. So hopefully we're back on schedule and there'll be no more delays. So yeah, even the way the actors were positioned on set gave this TV show a unique style. Yeah, that great direction. I mean, even though Michael Mann's name is on it, it's always mostly the directors that make these episodes, especially when it's Starsky and Hutch, whose shows was kind of like an influence on this, and
Michael, you can really see the going. Original Running Man from 1987. Forget that woke shit from 2025 with Glenn Powell.
Yeah,
Philip Michael Thomas would have gone a lot farther as Paul Michael Glazier would have kept on going further as a director and probably would have stayed in feature films if his health hadn't have abandoned him. He simply got sick, and unfortunately we lost him young, but he was getting better and better, and we all kind of really liked him.
Yeah, no, he was a very good actor. I mean, I've only seen a couple of episodes of Starsky.
He had a cool personal story too. He was an authentic person, a little bit, just enough tragedy to make you really feel for the man. He was
this is back in the days when actors weren't just stage actors as well. They actually could convince us these because a lot of them were blue collar guys as well, especially jobbing ones. So I like the fact, and once again, Tubbs is the guy that pretty much calms everything down as well as like, listen, there's a way everybody wins, all right? We can you can still get your heavily armed, stingers, but we can still have Amato as well. So it's like, okay, we will do it. But yeah, once again, I love Castillo when he does I can tell in your eyes you're lying. I've been for liars my whole life. You have the eyes.
That look.
Yeah. That fucking
you Cylon bastard. I know what's going on here.
Oh, Edward James Olmos, you beautiful bastard, man. You beautiful, ugly bastard.
It makes me wonder who they'll cast for the Joseph Kosinski Miami Vice film. Who's going to be?
Yeah, we got to get someone in. I mean,
got to get it right.
We could still have Edward James Olmos do it, but he's even though he's in his 80s, but
don't get him as cameos.
Yeah.
Make him the chief. You know what? Can we be honest here? He elevated everyone's performance in that extremely important and otherwise boring exposition scene in a punch him out and make him out kind of cop show. We're hanging with chicks, we're driving cars, we're shooting at people. He's in charge of selling the exposition drop to make all of this add up and not have people walk away like, I don't know what I watched. Like, he stitches it together well.
Yeah. So Tubbs has told the Fed already that they're going to be meeting tomorrow afternoon as well. And I don't know what Switek and Zeta were doing in this place as well. I mean, if the deal was going down on that night, I probably would have understood it a bit more. But who knows? Maybe they were killing off some time and having fun, but then got called in to do the job with at short notice because of what's happening next. Because one of the guys on Amato's team disappears and he's real pissed off about it. But then he finds the bugs as well, and they're like, "Oh shit, we found the bugs!" And Tubbs, being a fucking star, rings him up saying, "Hey, what the hell is going on, man? I found surveillance on me, man. I'm gonna do the deal and get out of here." It's like, No, no, no. The deal still can go through, okay? Just meet me at the airport. So yeah, this is I like it when we see competent characters adapt when the situation goes a little bit awry.
Yeah, and they're using every mistake that Bruce Willis has made. They're putting the screws to him, right? He's a little tight on money. He's talked a little too much shit, and he's like up to his neck in like we're talking like never getting out of jail sort of crimes. Like he's going to alligator Alcatraz forever.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Look at Tubbs as well in this fucking gear. He is killing it, man. He is killing his gear. I don't think I could pull off wearing those shoes. I mean, I do wear sliders
white shirt he wears. Good grief.
Yeah, I do wear sliders on a hot day indoors, but when I go out, no, I'm wearing fucking shoes. I mean, I could probably wear those chinos with those slacks with that the camp collar pattern shirt there, but I probably will wear maybe a smart pair of Converse sneakers or some loafers. Who knows?
You should definitely wear one of those Panama hats because as a Northern English bastard, when you get to Miami, like when you step off the plane, your wife's going to look back at you and she'll be able to diagnose you because she'll be like, the sun will come right through you. You'll be like an MRI. It is so bright there. You will look like one of the king's red coats. You'll be a king's red skin by the second day. You'll be a red skin potato walking around there.
My skin is actually getting a bit better at tanning, by the way. I was in the sun for a good while last year, and I did not go red. So
I heard you got all 15 minutes of sun last summer in England.
Yeah, 15 minutes really help. Try and get 15 minutes every day if I can. But it is starting to get a bit sunny again recently. We get some very good hot springs. We do. So I like it when Bruce Willis just walks in and he gives this guy this look, and the guy's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. You mean business? Okay, I'm not gonna ask any questions. I just don't want to die. And yet he pats him down saying, I'm checking. And Tubbs as well. He fucking sells it as well. He's acting like...
Yeah. It's a really good exchange.
Yeah, you think I'm a cop? Well, you might be a cop. How do I know you're not a knock?
By the way, I just point out, as allegedly being the bathroom at the Miami International Airport, correct? That means that there are hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of drug transactions going down in this room every day. Why isn't there a permanent police presence? I mean, it's a major entry and exit point of cocaine.
Yeah, no, fucking hell, it's I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to ask any cop that was in there anyway. So yeah, even in one of these earlier episodes, the show touches on the human tragedy, domestic violence, and once again, it ends on a dramatic note with no winners.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree as well. And it's a very nihilistic ending. She gets her revenge, but she's going to fucking jail for murder. And not only that, he's a government asset as well, so they're gonna probably fucking punish her. They're probably gonna punish her. This is, I mean, that's what I got from this anyway.
If I had to handicap what an American person would get, oppressed spouse, the show's disposition is that she couldn't escape, right? So we'll accept that. She sells a judge and jury that she was a hostage. At the same time, this guy is so horrible that they were just like, yeah, you like Stinger missiles? Yeah, you were a hostage. 3 years. I don't think she's doing 20. Like she's a hostage of an animalistic, crazy man. And the other cops, like in their testimony, like based on the reactions, what are they going to say to a jury? This is one of the worst spousal abuse cases we saw. We're used to domestic violence, but this guy was a special kind of lowlife. She killed him because she was so traumatized. And I'd like to point out there's still a potential for a happy ending where she misses and he's exonerated and goes on to be a detective in New York.
Yeah, we never see the bullet hit. He just ends with Sonny Crockett going, no, leaping at the screen, and that's it. So maybe there was going to have some possibility he could return, and become maybe... I mean, it would have been cool if his character returned and... they needed him on a special case as well, but at the same time, there was this mistrust. There was always a chance he could betray them because he's a bad person. He's an evil guy.
How about this? The feds give him a new cover, and he reemerges as a private detective named David Addison.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, different networks, but it would have been a cool idea.
Yeah. But I like the fact that he's got a very quiet menace to him as well when he's not screaming at Rita. He's like, you can see this guy is not to be fucked around with. He is very smart. He's very slick. You know, it's only when he's with his wife when he suddenly just turns red. You know, he turns the psychopath up to 11. But
yeah, at least they waited to a place where most people lose all their composure, right? Like put him with his wife when he goes batshit.
Yeah.
People will relate.
Yeah, he's always dealing with fucking assholes, but he takes it out on his wife, doesn't he? You know, like every man should. That's evil. But the deal's going to go down tonight, so they're going at the docks, which I'm pretty sure has been used in other episodes, especially Brothers Keeper. I might be wrong here, but
that's the marina they use for everything. That's where Crockett's boat is on blocks on the dock.
They really reuse a lot. Yeah,
they
reuse a lot of locations here, don't they? And then we get Phil Collins out carrying on.
Yeah, great track, great choice.
A great it really built the episode. And like, I don't know, like we moved from MTV Cops with a video to David Soul this is not the first time we've seen it done, but would you guys agree with me? This is one of the better show don't tell with musics that the show does. Rather than just an expositional scene with music, it's a show don't tell. It reaches a degree of an art form, honestly. It's to a degree quite artful.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it just adds to the tension as well. It really conveys the mood a lot more as well. Just that sort of dark brooding, I don't care anymore.
Which is a shame because you got all this heavily licensed music in the first few seasons. And then when Dick Wolff takes over, that kind of starts to deplete. So it's a real shame that people often revere the first 2 seasons of MV as the best. And 3 and 4, yeah, not bad. And then 5, it kind of has some good points to it, and that's it.
It still has some good bangers in season 3.
Still a great series. Just peaks and troughs.
Budgets got cut in America.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
One of the reasons why this show isn't more popular, because it is such a great show, the way copyright works in America, you got to pay for the distribution of the show, and unless you want to strip the song out, you got to pay that separately. So there's 2 sets of rights to show Miami Vice. They didn't give a shit.
The Beagle, Dad. How you doing, man?
Hey, John. This was a show that they were going to show at once, and hope you got maximum enjoyment out of it. And it was it wasn't supposed to be poorly thought out TV, but it is disposable TV. The next day, it's water cooler talk, but it's not like, gambling on baseball kind of level of importance. Yeah. It's not Who Shot JR.
Yeah, So yeah, the deal's going down now. Everyone's in position, but then the fucking feds show up, don't they? And they blow the whole cover. They get into a good shoot. They get into a fucking shootout, and I kind of thought looks like Tubbs stabbed the guy for a minute then, but I realized, oh no, he just punched him and knocked him out and stole his gun. And he's like, police, and this guy gets gunned down because he's an idiot who thinks if he shoots at enough feds, he can get away. But no, they all shoot at him.
Oh, he's the M60 guy, isn't he?
Yeah, the M60 guy.
Number 5, yeah. An early appearance by Lou Bega, ladies and gentlemen.
You can be charged for 25 years in jail for every bullet that leaves the barrel of that M60.
Yeah. And I like how he's annoyed. He's like, "You're a cop? Oh, I'm so embarrassed now. I thought you were cool."
Friends.
Yeah. Because he rings Rita and says that he's going to be going to jail for a long time, and she has this look on her face, and she has no idea how to process that information. It's like, it can't be, no? Come on. Then she just, next morning, she leaves that house looking all nice fancy. And I love what a scumbag Bruce Willis is here as well. Listen, I've been under a lot of pressure. This will be like a nice vacation.
And that's the one time that you see he's got a little bit of David Addison creeping out in him. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yes, but earlier when he was being like confused and tough, we saw a little bit of the Pulp Fiction character too, just flashes of the
Butch. You can see he's sort of getting the hang of acting already, isn't he? In such despite his lack of experience. Yeah,
I've got to say that slim tie from Castillo is damn cool.
Yeah, no,
nice coloring. I've seen that. That looks good. Through my sunglasses at night, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that tie. It is purple, teal, iridescent green, and chartreuse. Oh my God.
I don't like it. I don't like it. He should be wearing a black boring tie. Come on. I want Castillo to look boring. I don't want him to wear anything fancy. Come on.
He's boring except for the tie. That's the only thing he's got, right? I mean, he's the most buttoned down cop on this force. They've given, and it's great. It gives Philip Michael
Yeah.
Thomas a break. He's like, I can finally dress like I understand that I am in a 110-degree environment all the time.
This is great, actually, the interaction between Tubbs and Castillo, because like when he says, what was it, Tubbs, key, Lieutenant. It's like you can sense that tension behind them, because obviously, remember a couple of episodes or more before, he says, don't stand in my face and talk like that to me again. And you kind of get the sense that's still kind of there, but not so much.
I know. Plus the way the way he looks down as well when he gets the key, because he's been there before. I mean, you got these other higher-ranking government agents that's taking over the Fed's operation. They seem pissed off about it as well.
By the way,
like,
who goes around in public wearing ties like that? Not the material, the way they're knotted. It's not. There's no effort, man. It's not a double Windsor or a single Windsor. It's just like I don't give a fuck tie. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's the tropics. They're wearing like a knit tie that like is not going to hold any heat over like the lightest possible shirt. This is the form, but not like the actual like structure of a suit. You know what I mean? It's like inappropriate materials, but it's still a suit. It's like, we tried. It's 110 degrees. We tried. Leave us alone. But life has to go on.
I'm willing to bet these nefarious government agents probably make a shit ton of money. So they can't dress like money because it will blow the cat out of the bag.
It's not in the meta of the show, though, right? They're overworked, hard-working bureaucrats. And Crockett and Tubbs would look like shit if they weren't tracking down and jacking clothes off the best dressed drug dealers and pimps on the strip. But these cops, these feds rather hovering, they would be. This is like, again, another strong authenticity shield. I don't know if we needed this sequence for any other reason. We could have had them discuss amongst themselves. The feds are no longer in it. We needed to see them. We needed to know that this episode would have crossed the line to preposterous without these extra. You could say that they aren't important for the story, except that they make it believable. Like, this is too big of a threat. It is too big for the for Miami-Dade Police Department. This is international terrorism.
I know, and they've got this criminal as well. He could lead them to a lot of factors. There's probably bigger fish out there than him, but he's just it's kind of like the small fish in a big pond, you know, who seems to be bigger than the other fish, if I'm making any sense. But once again, the government fucking wins, doesn't he? And the little people get stepped on. And
street justice subverts that, right? Because they're going to take him out of there and use him as a source. But then something happens.
Yeah, I know, very something unexpected as well. He's very cocky. He's like, I got the juice. And she's like, you're letting him go. And even Bruce Willis is kind of like, hey, Rita, what are you doing here? And he's very oblivious that she's there to fuck, that she's going to kill him. You know, he seems so arrogant. He feels he's so invincible, doesn't he, in this moment? But then Rita pulls out the gun. She sees that Justice has pretty much gone to bite her on the ass. So she's like, fuck that. I'm going to bite you on the ass, Injustice. Shoots him. And Sonny's reaction when he jumps in front of the camera, no! And then executive producer Michael Mann with that really haunting Jan Hammer score going da-down.
Yeah, which I downloaded the other day, actually. Oh my God, there's songs on that. Glenn Frey, You Belong to the City. Yeah, we know why that's significant much later on.
There's a couple of good songs in this one, and one of them, I believe, is a Jan Hammer original.
Yeah.
The technology, he's going pure synthesizer, that what I would call grit tar setting from your Kurzweil keyboard, which I believe he's using, or his Yamaha DX7, whichever one he has, or his Moog, that guitar, like distorted guitar setting, there's some tracking involved. So when you push the key, there's not an immediate sound. So he goes for a slower, more atmospheric sound so that the tracking isn't an issue and it affects the stylistic approach that he takes. But wow, does it ever serve the episode well? Like the creepy guitar music that accompanies some of the more high tension episodes. And this episode manages to build tension throughout. There's a couple.
It does.
I
mean, it is very intense. And obviously, since we've gone through the episode, we got to give our overall opinions and then favorite outfits, favorite music moments, favorite main character, favorite guest character, and favorite quote, and our overall rating. So before we, so I will go first. So great episode with an explosive beginning. Seeing Tubbs get really touchy after getting fired at is hilarious, and seeing him really take it personal just makes it even funnier. I love how Lester doesn't really get enough respect despite being an incredible, useful asset. The feds are a bit more human here than usually portrayed, but still kind of assholes furthering their political goals. And Boris, who plays Rita, really sells this woman who has been pretty much destroyed by her psychotic husband. And top marks to Don Johnson because the scene where he has to listen to Rita getting essayed by Amata is a tough one, and you can really see the guilt of not being able to help her is weighing on him. And Tubbs shows just how much of a great undercover copper he is in that, that Jamaican gear and that Jamaican accent, even though some will argue it's dodgy, but who gives a fuck? He's selling it.
No, it's never been dodgy. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. And the regulars do well, but it is Bruce Willis as the ruthless arms dealer, Amato. He's despite being very one-dimensional, Willis really shows how much of a charismatic actor he was, despite his lack of experience. And so Don Johnson really picked a winner here when he found him in that bar. It's a very harsh episode, but gripping nonetheless, with some funny moments that add some levity and ends on a brilliantly dark note. So that's my overall opinion on this episode. So Admiral Teague, overall opinion on it.
First of all, I want to say very well said, and thank you for having me back. And guys, if you're out there in YouTube land and you've made it to this point in the review, please hit the like and follow button for my friend Northern English Bastard. Clearly, you're enjoying this, and we're here to serve the show, and we're only going to get better. And I don't know what to say except that this was a fun episode. David Soul had a complete vision as a director. Don't give up on us, baby, with it like woven right through this episode. We've still got time for one more try. Tubbs is the more spun up cop in this episode, which is sort of a change of pace. It's usually Crockett who's more animated, more spun up. But because we start out with a machine gun attack on Tubbs, and this includes a guy firing an Uzi in the street and running out, like there was like small arms machine gun fire going too. That was a batshit riot that would have been like, they would have deployed the National Guard to downtown Miami after that much machine gun fire. But whatever. Switek and Zito do a great job. They're shown as they're not quite major league cops yet, but they're in the professional system. They're pros. You can count on them, and they've got a little bit of personality too, especially Switek, when he's just like 110 big degrees here, like being like the radio DJ, and then the lieutenant telling him to shut up, and then the camera pulls back, and you can see that Switek actually does have a little bit of style of his own. It's just that it's a little dated. He's got the cool loud pants. He's got the great Guiabara.
Yeah, he's very late 70s. It's very late 1970s, isn't it? In a way.
The Guiabara is classic, but yeah. And he looks so 1970s. So this is a great episode to develop Switek and Zito. Gina's just sort of in it. She says hi. Amato is a perfect one episode bad guy, executed perfectly. He's smarter and like a good rival to him, but he's not a total freaking genius where it's just like, how do these guys ever get the better of him? Like with the George Takei one where it's like, my international drug ring will never stand still for your intimidation, Crockett. It's like,
oh no, the coppers are all over me. Oh my.
How do they get the better of Sulu? So at any rate, it's understandable how he gets undone. They can't sort of really get the bag on him cleanly. The feds do want to keep going up the chain. And also, like, if his wife did get him, we have to say to ourselves, this leaves people out there with the ability to dump weapons of mass destruction on the United States arms market, the people who want to use it for freaking fun, and who also might not be able to be traced according to the way the show presents it. So some real evil stuff. He has no responsibility. And then the social issue of its time playing out in American civil courts and becoming a criminal matter, moving from the matter of divorce to the matter of criminal assault, is even your wife at a certain point can say, you're a dick. No, not tonight. And you don't have the right to say, shut up. You're going to do it anyway. And that's a crime now. It might not have been universally a crime in America. It was a developing social issue. So this episode of Miami Vice, very complete and had it all. I got to give this one, what is it? 4 pastel suits out of 5.
All right, so we've already
Absolutely
given the rating. We're
great.
jumping ahead now. You know, we'll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll do that later. But yeah, you've. So yeah, is that your overall opinion? Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I think I covered it all. I just
Okay.
I work. You definitely nailed what was going on with our central characters. So I just went with some of the outer things, like the strange juxtaposition of Tubbs being calmer in this one. I'm sorry, being more spun up in this one.
Yeah, because he starts off
Crockett is
really irrational at the beginning, doesn't he? But he seems to get his shit together while Sonny is a little bit more still being a little bit animated, but But when we get to the main characters, I think you know what? We'll wait till we get to the favorite main characters
All right.
because we need to have Kung Fu Hot Dog give his overall opinion.
Wow! So I would say I watched this episode twice because somebody forgot their Ethernet cable last week. So it was like Officer Deja.
Didn't
Agent
forget
Blue.
it was
Have we met
fucked up.
somewhere before? So overall, great episode. Again, going to Admiral here. Switek's radio check. I love that. I can relate to it. It's the sort of clownish things I would do as a massively silly YouTube buffoon like you two. And I mean, overall, I think the thing that really stuck out to me when Gentle, the not so giant man, is showing this Super Stinger missile launcher in action, reminded me of War Dogs with Jonah Hill, Miles Teller, and Ana de Armas. Because if you know the story of that film, how those guys discovered blueprints for weapons and sold them undercover, which is something I would do, by the way, no shame about it, to make a lot of money and retire early. It kind of gave me shades of those. Funny enough, I don't know why, but that came to mind, like a really cool un-Miami connection, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a very underrated movie. I actually like that one.
I've got it. I own it. It's really fantastic. Again, you can just see Edward James almost didn't get the role of Lieutenant Castillo. He's just kind of relaxing, just getting into it. When he's called to be part of a scene, he really levitates it to a new level, because people didn't understand his character when he first appeared. Like, why is he mumbling? Why doesn't he talk much? But in retrospect, when you watch it now, like, there's a reason why the guy is there in the first place. And he's meant to be intimidating. Like, as you guys have said before, he's a mentor, mainly for Sonny, but he kind of overlooks the other people as well later on. But overall, it's a great episode. Bruce Willis, it's funny because when Moonlighting became popular and they were doing reruns of Miami Vice season 1, people would often say, "Hey, did you see the one with Bruce Willis?" What? He was in it? Boom. So it just really elevated his popularity even then. So yeah, top marks. Going good direction by David Soul as well.
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed.
Salem's not himself.
Yeah,
It was really well paced and well directed. This was a
yeah. No,
fantastic
it doesn't drag either as well. I mean, you understand what's going on. I mean, every character is given something to do as well, and this is where we get to the best main character. I've got to go for Crockett, because even though Tubbs is killing it as the shady buyer, Crockett is still trying to be the one who's giving Rita hope. He's letting her know you have someone by your side as well, but at the same time, he's got to sort of like handle the responsibility of knowing that he's encouraging her to take more abuse from her husband, especially when he essays her, which probably adds more to his fucking guilt later on. And Don Johnson just sells it all without saying a word. That scene where he's really just trying to suppress all of his anger and all of his guilt at the same time without saying a word. That is anytime a character can convey such emotions without saying a fucking word is always it always scores high in my view. So yeah, this episode for me is for Crockett. So Admiral Teague, favorite main character of the episode?
Oh, it's absolutely Trudy. Now, we didn't see her at all, right?
Yeah, we don't know.
Now, by favorite main character, so our audience understands here, our choice is the members of the Miami Vice Squad, and like it's more or less restricted to the episode's point of view characters. If I have what we're doing with this one correct? Yeah, it's basically a choice between Crockett, Tubbs, and Castillo, Switek, and
those main characters.
They're the only ones who are in it enough. All right. You know what? Strong supporting stuff from Switek. He really is selling that these guys are a office full of guys with some familiarity, a little bit of looseness. He can be as loose as Crockett. He could be as fancy free as Crockett. He seems to at least enjoy his job. They like protecting people. They're showing really good traits. The show's coming along really well. But I would say the cast as a whole really gelling. But my favorite main character in this one, I'm going to have to give it to a rare one to Tubbs, because he makes a full character arc from calm and collected to freaked out, and it's only the beginning of Act 5 where he's calmed down. Even at the end of Act 4, where he's like, yeah, you try to say that word, the guy's got a 30 cal trying to tattoo mother across your chest.
He does, yeah.
And he's not afraid to talk a little jive, which I like.
I know he gets some fucking good jive lines in there, doesn't he, by calling a Fed a fucking turkey. I like that. I like that.
That one crosses across ethnicities, but that definitely starts out as the black dude's word in America. Yeah, like Richard Pryor may have been the
It's
first
like the
person
Black
to call
Dynamite
people
scene.
turkey.
Now listen up, jive turkey.
It ain't cool to be no jive turkey on Thanksgiving.
But this one leaves
trading
us with
places.
the only mild cliffhanger. I don't think there's any other way to look at it as she definitely kills him, and we don't want to think about it anymore. We don't need to get into like the real nitty gritty of like, all right, Crockett, the bullet engine. You know, like we don't need the procedural about what happened next. Like a few weeks later, we have another case. It's like Star Trek that way. Like, well, Jim, we're just going to leave the planet. It's like, all right, Bones.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's only this very loose continuity. Obviously, we get Hackman, we get Calderon, you know, that those kind of sort of things that go back and forth, and that's about it. And maybe Lombardo as well, because he's another character that comes back a little bit as well. And we do get a good reference to One-Eye Jack as well, the consequences of that episode when Lombardo gets taken in. So yeah, we've done the main. Oh yeah, Kung Fu Hot Dog, favorite main character of the episode.
Yeah, a tough call, but I'm going to go with Sonny Crockett on this one because, first of all, in one of these screen grabs here on imdb.com, I believe he's wearing a oyster face gold Rolex. If it's not a Rolex, I will be shocked, but it's definitely got the distinctions of that. It's just a very quick shot of it, nice bit of subtle product placement. Kind of why I relate to this as well, because again, you see Sonny hates the essay of women, which I'm very sentimental with. And also if you contrast that to Johnson's hedonistic lifestyle when he got big from Miami Vice, like having the highest of high-class hookers attending my parties with politicians without being Jeff Epp, if you know what I mean. So 4 marks to Don on that one, because again, some things not spoken in word, but just conveyed with emotion. He sells it well. This is the guy, after all, who spoke to a talking dog in A Boy and His Dog back in 1975.
Great film. That is a great film. I'm gonna have to do a Bastards breakdown on it, because that is a fucking banger of a movie.
I'll be there with you on that one for sure.
You know what? Honestly,
I will get that organized soon. I will.
Compare and contrast the Don Johnson post-apocalyptic movie to the Melanie Griffith post-apocalyptic movie, Cherry 2000, where she's a female road warrior.
Oh my
so
God.
Weird.
I'm going to have to check that out now.
One? First of all, she's hot. It's like 25-year-old Melanie Griffith, and she's really hot. There's like a 10-minute scene built around how great her ass is when she's like kind of like repelling, and it's not the most like, yeah, she looks great. She's just beautiful in the movie, and she's got the voice, and like everything's going on. And
look, working girl Melanie Griffith was still hot, man. Damn.
Listen, Melanie Griffith stayed good looking for a long time, and you know, Antonio Banderas still to this day a lucky man. You can understand why Don Johnson was like, I see the value in recycling with Melanie. You know, like I would go back to her too, and we got Dakota Johnson out of it, so whatever.
Oh yeah, fucking Dakota Johnson, man, banging.
Calvin Klein's will never be the same again.
So yeah, now we've done the main character, so we're going on to guest character, and it's obviously Bruce Willis for me on here. This has to be, because this was the role that pretty much might have landed him for Moonlighting as well. And he showed he had charisma, menace, and even though his character is a very one-dimensional villain, Bruce Willis really makes it work. He really sells it. He's really acting his ass off here, and and you can really see why they decided, you know what, we need to make this guy a star because he's got some fucking charm, and Don Johnson has pretty much bigged this guy up, and we can see why. So yeah, so that's my favorite guest character of the episode. Guest character Admiral Teague.
I think, although the wife puts in a strong performance, you sort of still feel the power of the Bruce Willis performance. He's doing a great job. Another actor may not have been able to really give us what he gave. I think that you said it all. Great outfits, by the way, some great clothes, classic cad behavior, real jerk, using the way he just has to bully around a woman to feel good about himself. And just to clear up what we're talking about, I did some quick research. Bruce Willis was born in West Germany.
Einstein.
So also the other thing would be this: Bruce Willis, born in West Germany, is because his father was assigned there with our army or military.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
He's from Kearney, New Jersey, is effectively where he's from. So he does have that Philadelphia area accent akin to Joe Pesci. He has a different Northeast accent than I do. He's not New York. He's like, Jersey and Philly.
Yeah, you're Jersey.
So I'm going to give it to Bruce Willis. He was great in this. It was a powerful performance. He made a memorable appearance as a one-episode villain. This was not the most deeply written villain. It was the most fiendishly written villain. And he was able to do little things that he did, the way he sort of looked around before he would start getting brutal, the way he would go from zero to psycho and then back down to no emotion. That was really good at showing him as unstable, but controlled enough to be like a criminal. Like he wasn't too unhinged to be an organized criminal, and he was definitely the kind of animal who didn't care about killing 200 people.
Yeah, I fucking agreed, man. Agreed. So yeah, Kung Fu Hot Dog, favorite guest character.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bruce Willis, but I think one of the Fed guys, he's got the baseball cap and the polo shirt and the cool trousers. He kind of stuck out to me for a bit. I don't know why, but I found him really captivating. I thought he was a bit more street savvy and smart than his colleague, just ever so slightly.
That's
because again, he dressed a bit better. But yeah, I'm going to go with you guys and say Bruce Willis. Sorry, with the guy with the baseball cap and the polo shirt, because you were really good. But yeah, Bruce Willis. I don't know how much more I can add to what you guys have already layer caked in terms of his performance, but because the only thing I would probably bring to the table that you guys don't remember, he was an extra as a juror, not the rural juror from 30 Rock in Paul Newman's The Burning, 1982.
I didn't bring it
you
up,
go
but
from
I
that to the
remember
guy in the bar and you meet Don Johnson. We're going to assume it's not a gay bar, ladies and gentlemen. And then suddenly you're in the episode.
I know, just because I think he did some sports as well, like wrestling and boxing back in his day, but then went to the bartender, but then
which was the famous joke in Die Hard. What, are you telling me he's a fucking bartender?
in the big scene, in the big courthouse scene, that movie's version of You Can't Handle the Truth, where Paul Newman has his little lawyer breakdown. Bruce Willis is in the front row of jurors and he's reacting really well. Like he's doing a really pretty big background role because the lawyer's losing his shit and having his final meltdown, and Bruce is like,
wow,
following him with his eye, his eyes are locked to the speaker, and he does a good background. Obviously, we see this guy who had natural talent. He was great. Like we said, this role, it was a good role. It was a great villain role. He was really ruthless and cruel, but what we got was a memorable performance here. This was also memorable. And whether or not it had anything to do with his moonlighting casting, I would say this: anyone who had him into the room would have given him that role. He's electric at this point. It's jumping off of him. Bruce Willis he's hot in every sense of the word, right? Women are loving him. He has an acting magnetism, and he's like the William Shatner of 1984.
Awesome. So yeah.
And
so now we've gone on to But sorry, mate.
No, I was going to say, jumping 4 years ahead to 1988, I'm in New York for the first time and picked up this vintage shirt. Fame
Perfect.
Awesome,
shirts. I'm going to live forever. So, yeah, it is definitely big off the sleeves. I don't know why I bought it large, but then going back to your point, bastard, everybody wore it all big and puffy back in the era. So
Yeah,
proud to
big
still
box of
own it.
suits.
You made
Everything.
allowance for 30 years of shrinkage. It probably fits perfect now.
Yes.
So yeah, which leads into my next subject, the best outfits. So I'm thinking, I was almost going to say Bruce Willis's parachute shirt and pants when they're testing the Stingers, but I will go for Tubbs' Jamaican gear because he's just pulling it off. He looks proper
It
dodgy,
was good.
arms dealer buyer from Jamaica kind of look, and Tubbs just looks fucking awesome in it, mate. And anytime someone wears something that I want to wear, but I know I will never pull off, I'm all for it. I am. You can. That's when you know you got someone who can really pull off anything, any kind of fucking clothing. So yeah, Tubbs' Jamaican gear. Admiral Teague, favorite outfit.
All right, listen, there's my favorite outfit, and then there's the outfit that I just like gave me the most pause and dropped my jaw. My jaw was dropped because I totally forgot about the sweat shield, sweat concealing, electric blue kind of shirt that he wears. Where this shirt is just designed with the idea. It's like, okay, look, it's either silk or rayon, whatever. It's going to be hot as hell, and like you're going to sweat through this. So we're going to put a little cape, but we'll reattach it to the bottom of your shirt. So that look I had totally forgotten about. So that one just knocked me back in time for a moment. But I'm going to have to say his like hybrid sort of mariachi matador outfit that he wears while he's when we roll him out as the low life that he is. And like, we surround him with the most perfect casting. No one else could have played that mousy, terrified wife. And at the end, she was well cast because they nerf her looks through the whole episode, and then she's a little better looking and a little more, which makes her look more confident and more determined at the end. And by the way, at this point in America, we had people getting away with killing their spouse left and right by saying they were abusing them. So her chances of walking were okay. Like the abuse excuse was a real thing in 1985, 88.
Holy
you
shit! That's a question.
In the chat, didn't you? Because so this was like a real thing where a husband could essay his wife and get away with it because, hey, well, you're married to her. How can you rape her? So
this is surprising and believable, but from PB. But yeah, that was a weird evolving thing in America. It went from it was part of your divorce to you know what, you're not allowed to do that even to your wife. She could say no to you too.
Yeah. I'm glad as well because this is one of the few things. Okay, this is because it is kind of fucked up as well. If you're forcing yourself on someone you love, then it's fucked up. It's messed up. No, it's great.
It's just got a prisoner. They did a great job of showing how society felt about it. It's like with all the horrors that these cops have seen, for Sonny and Ricardo to be so disgusted by this guy, and for this guy to be such an animal that even the feds are like, we'll give you guys a little autonomy because your town. We want this fucking guy off the street as much as we want the Stingers. To be honest with you, he's made us sick too. That sold a lot of the logic of this episode. So yeah.
So PB is just I think this might actually be true.
I've just checked it.
So it's true, mate. It's true. You're right. You're totally right. So
I mean, Don Johnson as John McClane, interesting. I mean, he's younger than Bruce. I think he was. So, possibly could have pulled it off. I don't see why not.
Yeah, because he could. Then again, I think Don Johnson was doing another film at the time, wasn't he? Where he was playing this police officer trying to investigate KKK killing. I need to check it out.
Oh, yes. Something with Bang in the title.
I think that might be it. I'm going to
I've got it. It's good film. It's a very good film.
Yeah, because he was trying to have a bit of a movie career as well, as a music career at the time. And in the end, television just seemed to be the one that suited him the most. So, your favorite outfit in Kung Fu Hot Dog? Favorite outfit?
I'll say that again.
Favorite outfit in the episode?
I've got to say the opening. Well, not the first time we see Tony Amada, that shirt, which is just great. I think it had not grapes in it, but it's very similar to shirts I've seen back in the era. Just a really outstanding shirt. And actually, the second best outfit is the one in your background wallpaper, Don Johnson and the I'm going to assume it's a mesh T-shirt, and I'm going to say that's probably an Armani jacket to go with it. That is fantastic.
Yeah,
he
it looks
does
fucking
do
really
a
good.
like
mesh
that.
T-shirt sometimes. He does.
Yeah, it does look like it's a little bit more of a breathable shirt, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
it almost looks like one of those chain vests, but it's white, isn't it?
Yeah,
in a
Dead
way.
Bang. Dead Bang is the Don Johnson
Dead
film.
Bang, yeah, I need to check
really
that
good
out.
film.
Yeah.
So now we've done the best outfits or best music moment. I think it might be the Amato theme. I don't know what it's called. It's Jan Hammer, that very ominous.
Great. You're right.
Jan Hammer is, I mean, who's the guy again that composed the music for Top Gun? He's just so cool.
Harold Faltermeyer, if I'm pronouncing his name right.
Yeah, no, he's Beverly Hills Cop. It's another guy that's similar to Harold Faltermeyer.
Yeah, he did do Top Gun as well. He did Top Gun as well.
Is it Harold
You got
Faltermeyer?
Loggins on the theme song, but that's different, right?
Yeah, so Jan Hammer is he's great. He really is. Just so underrated, underappreciated, I think.
I know,
Total
because
understanding of his instrument, right? He understood how that tracking would affect the sound, and he went for a certain kind of vibe, and he was able to get everything out of what he was using. It was great.
yeah, I also love how he sort of like incorporates the drums from "I Don't Care Anymore" at the beginning as well. It really sort of like sets the tone for this episode a little bit there, and the fact that it ends when he gets shot as well just makes that scene just more memorable, as well as the score. So that's my favorite music moment of the episode. Admiral Teague, favorite music moment.
Oh, the wild, flailing, percussive drum sequence from I Don't Care Anymore. As you see that these cops might just be willing to go a little bit too far in a few places to get the stingers off the streets, and Amato's not getting out of there. He's going to jail, or he's going to the next world, but he ain't going to another town to cause more problems. They have had enough of Amato. And I love that moment. And that's why I said in this episode, David Soul manages in the sequence what we are talking about, where they, I believe one song runs into another. There's some night driving, which is, becoming the norm now on this show. It's becoming a feature, but there's some emotional night driving while the radio plays. The radio's playing in their world too, but we get a mashup of their emotions as they drive. And yeah, when they're listening to I Don't Care Anymore, that wild flailing drums by Phil Collins, when he still had emotion before he became like some kind of weird version of Popeye running around doing music. Like Phil Collins, he had some fire, he had some passion, and like he's playing all the instruments on the first Phil Collins album. There are no other instrumentalists, if I'm correct. So it's great. I like that part.
Yeah. Kung Fu Hot Dog, favorite music moment.
I would say Phil Collins, because again, he got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this week, didn't he? So it's kind of like a nice 360, much deserved. But
second time.
Yeah, and I got to go to the Jan Hammer piece, because I think Jan is heavily influenced by Giorgio Moroder, one of the greatest music producers, whatever you want to call him, in the business. Obviously part of the Brian De Palma Scarface, who bounced off Scarface into Miami Vice, quite a few people. So I'm going to give it to Mr. Hammer.
Yeah, it is. I think to be honest, I don't think you're too far off as well, because there is very similarities to their music style. So yeah, so Jan Hammer pretty much wins here as well, especially when he's incorporating some of Phil Collins's percussion drums in there. And so we're on to what else are we on to now? We're on to favorite quotes. So it's got to be the "I hate machine gun" rant by Cook, because it's just so fucking funny, and it really is. And he's really fucking losing his mind here as well, and Thomas is really pulling all the stops. And even though he wasn't the best actor, he still proves today that he was more charismatic as Tubbs than Jamie Foxx was in the 2006 movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But this kind of goes to show that you don't always need to be the best actor. Sometimes you just need some fucking charisma and some charm and a bit of flair. And Michael Philip Thomas had that as well in spades. So yeah, that's my favorite quote. Admiral Teague, favorite quote.
Oh, you nailed it. Machine guns affect my performance. And then instead of going right to the theme song, which we usually do, for whatever reason, there's a black screen for a moment to let us contemplate this shit. We take what's called a beat, like he says his line, and then instead of the theme song kicking in, there's a moment of silence and a black screen, and then we get the and we go into our theme song. So I thought there was excellent use of that line to let it hang in the air and show that we're maybe in a little more serious of a situation than we are most weeks. The stakes are higher. So I like you nailed it. I agree with you.
Yep, thank you, Admiral Teak. So yeah, Kung Fu Hot Dog, favorite quote.
Sonny Crockett, I didn't become a cop to spectate.
Yeah. Let's
go
kneel
get his
here.
dirtbag, whatever it is he says next.
That was very character building.
Powerful line. Just brilliant. Didn't have to follow it up with his outrage, but they did, and it was just a great one line.
Yeah, agreed. And, I did like Bruce Willis's, you know what, I've been under a lot of pressure lately, so that being in jail might be a nice vacation. You know, that would have been my second quote as well, because the fact that he's the cops have him, yet he's still rubbing it in their faces as well. I mean, that's a pretty good fucking villain to have there. So
his wife runs up and kills him. He's just proved he was right. He's like, man, like life at home sucks. Like this is I'm safer in jail. Lock me up already for 90 days, and I'll get rid of her while I'm on the inside. I'll get a lawyer.
And of course, he's not going to divorce her because it's like a sign of weakness, isn't it? If your wife divorces you, so
he's going to take her to a state where you're not responsible for your misfire, or a country where you're allowed to kill your wife for dishonoring you.
Yeah, he should have done that, but yeah, sometimes business has to intrude. But
honey, we're going to Jordan.
So we've done everything now. We've done favorite music moment, favorite outfit, favorite quote, main character, guest character, and anyone in the comments, please put yours into the comments later on, even on the rewatch if you don't get a chance to later in the chat. So overall rating, I'm going to give this a good 5 out of 5 pastel suits out of 5 here. Admiral Teague.
Strong case for 5 out of 5. I just think that because the stakes were a little bit too loopy-doopy, when we become a little more grounded further in the future, we'll hit episodes that might be better. So I don't want to make this 5 pastel suits, but I will say this. They are 4 extremely well accessorized, sharp, very well tricked out with great sartorial choices pastel suits, and maybe some alligator shoes.
Yeah, we'll throw in the alligator shoes then as a 0.5 then. So Kung Fu Hot Dog.
For me, it's going to be a 4 espadrilles out of 4 brilliant footwear pieces of
nice one, man. Nice
Sebagos. I'm always going to be the espadrille man. Sorry, guys. I love them shoes.
Your heart's going to be broken when we move to boat shoes for everybody.
Oh, I know, man. But
don't
go
on
to
season 4
like
where you got
business.
Yeah, then we move on to season 4 where we have zipper sneakers, zipper trainers.
Cool.
I have been trying to see if I could find a vintage pair on eBay, but even when I go on Meta AI with the picture to try and see what brand they are, it doesn't seem to come up with anything. It keeps saying Nike Air Max, and I was like, these are not Nike Air Max, okay? I know Nike Air Max. This is not Nike Air Max.
I think
So
I'm going to get the boat
the
shoes instead. I think they're more functional, and I think they'd be great to wear around the house.
Yeah, I've got a pair of Timberlands white slip-ons though, which are very sort of close enough anyway. But unfortunately, that is the end of our show now. So thank you, Admiral Teague and Kung Fu Hot Dog. If you want to stay in the green room, we'll have a little chat for a little bit. And everyone in the chat, thanks for jumping on. Yeah, and sorry for the delay for the last couple of weeks. I would have been on last week, but the Ethernet cable was not working, and so I've just got a new one. I'm going to get a new one soon as well when I get paid again. So, PB, thanks for joining us. Hope you can join us next week. And Wear Me Spoons, John the Beagle Dad, Not the Poopus, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's about it. So, with you beautiful bastards, Northern English or not, thanks for watching. But right now that's us done, and we're off to the pub. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Have an authentic week.